My older woman, if you still care, please listen carefully, for these words come not from a prince or a ruler, but from the man who has carried your memory in silence for far too long. I have worn crowns and carried duties upon my shoulders, yet nothing has weighed on me more heavily than the absence of your voice, the silence of your embrace, and the distance between your heart and mine. Time may have built walls around us, but even walls cannot silence the truth of what we once shared. You were never just a fleeting part of my story. You were the chapter that defined me, the compass that directed me, and the warmth that sheltered me when the world was cold. I have lived surrounded by lights, but none of them ever glowed like the fire in your eyes. You taught me how to love without fear, how to stand with strength, and how to believe that even princes can be vulnerable in front of the right woman. There were moments when I convinced myself to let go, to bury your memory deep within me, but every time I tried, life reminded me of you. In the scent of the wind, in the quiet of the night, in the way my heart still skips a beat when I hear your name, everything leads me back to you. And so here I am, reaching out once more, asking if you still care enough to hear the truth that refuses to die. I know the years may have changed us, reshaped our lives, and pulled us into different destinies. Yet, the love I hold for you has not aged, it has only grown stronger, wiser, deeper. Age, distance, or circumstance cannot erase what is carved into the soul. And my soul, older woman, belongs to you. You may think my life is full, that I have everything a man could dream of, fame, respect, and responsibility. But what are these treasures when the heart is still restless? What are these victories when they cannot be shared with the one who understood me before the world did? My triumphs feel incomplete because you are not here to witness them. If you still care, listen carefully. I never loved you because of how the world saw you. I loved you for the way you saw me, not as a sheikh, not as a public figure, but simply as a man who longed to be understood. In your presence, I was not royalty, I was human. And that is why losing you has felt like losing myself. There are whispers around me, doubts and voices telling me to move on, to forget, to accept the chapters ahead without clinging to the past. But they do not know that my heart does not bend so easily. They do not know that my love for you was never ordinary, it was eternal. They do not know that even when I smile for the world, I ache for you in silence. My older woman, do you remember the promises we once shared, the dreams we once painted with words under the stars? Those promises still live within me. They were not broken, they were paused, waiting for a day when fate might soften its grip. And if fate refuses to, then let my words reach you as a reminder that you were, and always will be, the most sacred part of my story. I do not ask you for answers. I do not ask you to step into the chaos of my world. I ask only that you listen, that you know, that you carry with you the truth of my love. If nothing else, let it be a comfort to your soul that somewhere in this vast world, there is a man whose heart beats with your name even after the years have passed. If you still care, then hear this confession. Every choice I made, every battle I fought, every sacrifice I endured, I carried the hope that somehow, somewhere, you would be proud of me. Your opinion still matters to me more than the applause of nations. Your smile still holds more power over me than the crowns I wear. The world may not understand why I speak of you still, why I hold on to something they call the past. But they do not know that love such as ours does not belong to time, it belongs to eternity. And eternity does not forget. Eternity waits, it lingers, it watches, and it whispers. And every whisper of eternity tells me that you are still mine in ways the world cannot comprehend. So I ask you, my older woman, if your heart still beats with a fraction of what mine carries, then let my words soften the silence between us. Let them remind you that age is not a barrier, distance is not a wall, and time is not a thief, it is only a test. A test that I am willing to endure as long as it takes. The world may never know the depth of what we shared, but I do not need them to know. It is enough that you know, and that I know. It is enough that our souls carry the bond no distance can undo. And if the day never comes when I see you again, then let it be written that I loved you faithfully, endlessly, unapologetically. My older woman, if you still care, then hold these words close, because they are not just letters strung together. They are the essence of my heart, the cry of my soul, the truth I have hidden behind smiles and duties. Listen carefully, for this may be the only way I can reach you, and in reaching you, I find myself whole again. My older woman, silence has been my greatest enemy, and tonight I break it with words that cannot be chained any longer. I do not know if they will find their way to your heart, but I know they carry the weight of all the years I have held them back. I wonder often if you think of me, if in quiet hours when the world has gone still, you too are haunted by the echoes of what we once were. Or has the world convinced you to bury me, to call it a memory, to say it was just a season? For me, it was never a season. It was eternity disguised as a fleeting moment. I have met countless faces, walked through countless halls, and spoken to countless voices, yet none ever carried the familiarity of your soul. There was something eternal in your presence, something that made me believe in destiny. Even now, when I close my eyes, I see the way your laughter could heal, the way your eyes could pierce through the armor I wore for the world. You stripped me bare without effort, and I did not fear it. That, my beloved, is rare. That, my beloved, is why no one else has ever measured up to you. You once told me that love is not always enough, that sometimes life demands sacrifices greater than our desires. I understood your words, but I never accepted them. For me, love has always been the greatest force, the one thing worth bending rules for, worth breaking chains for. And though duty pulled me in one direction, my heart never stopped running toward you. Perhaps I am foolish, perhaps I am stubborn, but I would rather be a fool who loves you endlessly than a wise man who forgets you. There are nights I stand at my window, looking over the city that never sleeps, and I wonder if you, too, are awake somewhere, lost in the same thoughts. Do you look at the stars and remember how we once painted futures beneath them? Do you hear the call of the night and remember how my voice once whispered to you that no matter what, you were mine? I hope you do, because I remember it as if it were carved into stone.